I started off with Aaron shortly after the league was established. I became coach with Tim Green, Penn Credit. Throughout the league's tenure, I coached several teams, director of operations, field maintenance, and everything else. It was just great to be a part of bringing kids together, community together, as well as, like I said, I earned a big brother.
One thing that sticks out to me is the experience that MOSELF gave us to be able to take a team from here to play on the Little League World Series fields. We played in something that was called the Urban Initiative Program. We were one of the first teams. When Little League did it, they said they wanted a team from Pennsylvania, and what team represented Pennsylvania best was Urban League, like MOSELF, coming to play in Little League baseball, which you don't see much. So they chose us. That's how we got chosen, and we were around tremendous people. I mean, Jackie Robinson's daughter, Dave Winfield. I mean, it put us in front of a lot of big people that I never thought in a million years that I would ever even be bumping elbows with.
What's one of your most memorable experiences? Something that you'll never forget. Just something random, man.
Well, one of the biggest things is a young lady named Sterl Pettis who's in here right now. Sterl was one of our pitchers. As a young lady, she was a pitcher. She also was a catcher. We had a game down in Elizabethtown, All-Star game. She was catching. Guy says, "Why would they have a girl catching?" I said, "Well, I bet she gets a home run today."
I know that's right.
"Oh, she ain't gonna." "Well, your money's good as my money." 2 innings later, deep center field, they went Sterl.
I know that's right.
We teach life skills through a sport, which was baseball.
Gotcha.
And it's brought me a great deal of pride and joy to have been a part of MOSELF. We all came together, uptown, hillside, south side, wherever it was from, we came together, and it was all for the kids.
From a kid perspective, I think it gives them something positive to come to. You know what I mean? Instead of everything, the everyday life that they're surrounded by. You know, so the kids that, like you said, even the kids that didn't have a game, they were still at the field. It gave them that positive outlet that they didn't used to have. And a lot of kids already reflect on that with me. Like, if it wasn't for baseball, where would I be, or what would I be doing? You know, it changed the life of so many kids. It did.
No doubt.
Let me just say this before we go any further. They talk about their childhood and they played Little League baseball. We come from around here. But I was the first girl to play Little League baseball with the boys. And I started. I did not sit the bench. And I played on WHP. And we won our league. And we won the city. Now, thank you very much. Not Herpack, not Sam's, not Lipman's. That's right, you played for Lipman's. Oh, well, why you say? Yo, well, what? Oh, okay. He doesn't want me to talk about their terrible team, okay. But we love you, Sterl. But I just had to set the record straight because they talk about the men of the Southeast League. What about the women? So.
You brought all the trophies home, Jim.
I got all the, well, no, Aaron got more trophies than me. And Aaron used to think he was Vita Blue. We used to have to rub his arm down with alcohol like he was great pitch in a real Major League Baseball game. And go into this real meditation. They're like, dude, you are 12. Am I lying, guys? See, they know. It's a ritual that he had for this little, 9 innings of Major League Baseball. Oh, it was 6? What is it now? Sterl said it seemed like 9 when you're losing. But yeah, so that's, I don't know if you guys had a ritual, but Aaron was serious with this baseball thing. So anyway, I'm gonna go back to the program. So now the record's straight. I played. Yes. Okay. Reflections. Coming to the stage at this time is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. And you guys are all coming at one time so that I don't have to keep getting up, coming up here saying who's next. Concessions, Miss Sharon Shepard. Former players, Miss Asha Green and Mr. David Green. Former coaches, Mr. Tony Stern and Mr. Sean Wilson. Let's show them some love as they come.
Good evening, everyone. Yes, I'm Sharon Shepard. I was the president of the concession stand. I've been with MOSELF since day one, when we used to have to buy supplies for the concession stand starting out at the Boys and Girls Club on Berry Hill Street. We used to pack up, take it in, pack up, take it out, every day. I worked for the concession stand 6 days a week, every day. I prepared, I bought, I shopped, I did everything that needed to be done for the concession stand because it was for the kids. My son started out with MOSELF from the very beginning and stayed to the very end. So I'm just here to say that MOSELF has been a part of my life for a long, long time. I did a lot of hard work to make MOSELF what MOSELF is today. So with that being said, I will turn the mic over to someone else.
Good job, Mom. So, as my mom said, I was a part of MOSELF from the very beginning. When we were on Berry Hill Street at the Boys Club, and while the field was being under construction. So I was there from the very beginning to see everything, from the parade to the ribbon cutting ceremony. And when Mr. Aaron asked me to talk, to share some reflections, I immediately thought about like the impact that the field had, with me, a lot of my brothers, some of my best friends I met out the South Side at that field. I asked Mr. Aaron one day, I was like, do you realize the impact that you guys had on the kids out there? And he's like, he was so busy, during the time, if you were out there at the time, he was doing everything. He was cutting grass, he was doing the lines, he was umpiring, he was calling the game, he was running back and forth. That he didn't really have time back then to actually see the impact that, what they were doing had on the kids in that area. We had the best baseball field in the area by far, and it was in the center of the projects. Grass infield, everybody wanted to come out there and play. So I said that to say, man, the impact was, it took me to be an adult and have my own kids, to serve in those roles as a coach, as a mentor, as a volunteer, to really sit back and look at the impact that it had. That field was a safe haven for a lot of kids out there. Every day they had somewhere to go for at least 2 hours, whether it was practice, whether it was a game. They had a place to go to get away from, some of the stuff that they were dealing with. Everybody wasn't in a good situation out there. I look at youth sports now, and with social media, it's a lot of immature adults that are coaching our kids. That it's more about them than it is the kids. Men in the Southeast League field, exactly what that first word "men" is. That's really what we had back then. We had men that cared about us. We had men that made sure that we were doing what we were supposed to do. It was baseball, but it wasn't about baseball. It was about grooming us to be young adults and to carry on and to build a new legacy and to move in the proper way. So I'm glad I was able to be here to give you guys your flowers. What you guys did was remarkable, and I met some of the best men like Coach Sean, Mr. Aaron, two of my biggest mentors. A couple years ago, it was about 7 o'clock in the morning on Father's Day. They texted me within 3 minutes. I was thinking that they were together, but they were the first people to tell me Happy Father's Day. But yeah, just genuine people, Coach Stern, like just genuine guys that cared about me beyond baseball. And it's to this day, and I'm 37 years old now. So Glad I could be here. Give you. What happened out there? Hey, I look 37 though. But yeah, I'm proud of you guys. I'm glad I could be here to share a moment with you guys and give you guys your flowers. What you guys did was amazing.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Asha Green. I'm going to take you back to 1995 to the Boys and Girls Club on the south side of Harrisburg when I tried out for T-ball for the first time. Still not sure how I made a team. I think they had to pick straws and just whoever got me, got me. I believe my first T-ball team was Goodwin. And I struck out at least 4 times playing T-ball. But for some reason, my mom kept taking me back season after season. She had me working with her in the concession stand. I still can't stand frying chicken because I can still smell it. But in those moments, I still call him President Aaron. He used to come down before city council as the director of public works, and I'd be like, President Aaron? And everybody would go, President Aaron? I know him as President Aaron. But in those moments, working in the concession stand until 8, 9 o'clock at night, he would be there all the way to the end, cleaning up the field, picking up trash, doing everything that needs to be done to make for sure that the field was running correctly. So many people that I met in the program that I still see today that I never would have met. I was a shy little kid. People might not believe that, but this program exposed me to so many people and helped me to come out of my shell. It took a very long time before I hit the ball. I played for Jazzland, and at one point towards the end, I did start. I remember Tajere she was the best female player, at least when I was playing. She was the best female player. I think I took the number 10 jersey after she left. I gotta give her flowers. My glove that I started T-ball with in that Boys and Girls Club is the same glove that I took to play with Coach Dez and play softball. And Coach Dez and Tajere pulled me to the side and said, that glove is too small, sis. The ball's a little bigger now. I think you're gonna have to upgrade. But just those moments, I still have my Jazzland jersey and my Jazzland hat. I know I was supposed to turn it in. But somehow I got away with it. I have it framed in my bedroom because it just brings so many memories, so many good times in our community, and for so many kids in our community, it meant so much. It was just a safe haven, a place to go. It was a place that had a family and just brought everybody together. No judgment, whether you were hitting home runs or striking out. It was just team and camaraderie. So I thank you all for all that you've done, and I thank everybody for showing up tonight.
They done censored the mic on me already. I'm glad everybody that came out tonight came out. I really wish we had a much larger crowd out here because there's a lot of people that need to be talked about and need to be mentioned. And speaking of mentioning everybody, I'm honored to come up top, but I'd like all the coaches out there, everybody who coach, please stand up and give them a hand, please. Come on, y'all, stand up. You deserve it. Put in a lot of hard work out there. And keep your appreciated. Yeah, I was telling a gentleman about Little League. I was with Kirby Bucket. Y'all, if you ain't heard that story, it takes a while, but ask Aaron, he makes it so comical, but it was for real. Or ask Gina. But at the same time, I'd really like to thank everybody right here because when I came to that field, and I was embraced by my man over there, Tim Green. I coached with him, Penn Credit my first year over there. We up on the roof, we announcing games, everything, up on that roof at the Boys and Girls Club on Berry Hill Street. You had to see it. But we had a lot of fun. I often, as I told the gentleman that talked to me earlier, when it comes to baseball, football, or anything that I coached, and if any young folks out there are going to coach, we teach life skills through sports. Winning and losing, winning is the easiest thing ever until you forget how to handle it. Now in losing, I guess they took my line because I never called it losing. They say you took an L, take the lesson from it. Because that's what it is, because you're not going to win at everything. But in my coaching, which I'm still doing, still playing a little bit, I can still run a little bit. Hey, cut it out. Listen, what we did was not far from incredible with a lot of the kids who weren't going to make it without outside fathers, because that's what we are. And they came to that field knowing that Aaron was going to get him, Sterl was going to get him. Now Mike was going to pray for him after we got him. Mike will pray for him, we ain't going to kill him. Mike was giving eulogies. But look here, that's how much fun we had. Sterl and I sitting there on the field. Roger was slave driver, I'm gonna tell you. Roger, y'all, you had to meet Roger. We said, well, it's getting dark, Roger. Roger said, turn on your car lights. Did you, Roger? Yeah, but those were the things that me and Sterl talked about. What's the song, Sterl? Black and Bear, listen. What was that?
Weekend Thing.
The Weekend Thing. Man, we sitting there on the field, we jamming. Rod's got, get the hatch. Get the hatchet.
You're in a wheelbarrow.
Yeah. But those were the days, those are stories that helped build me and really made me a better person and a better father. So we had a lot of good times, and I think me and Aaron about to embrace one of this umpire thing down there. So Trina, you might well get ready. He coming up missing. But we did enjoy, and still do enjoy, taking kids by the hand and really teaching them life lessons. Everybody knows, if you don't know, okay, I work over at Camp Hill Penitentiary. Some have come through, and I embrace them when they get there. I let them know it's not over, unless you want it to be. Second chances. We wasn't all angels, that's for sure, right, Aaron? Call you mom up here, boy. But look here, Sean coming behind me, I just wanted to share some things. Like I said, we love the kids. We appreciate everybody who had a hand in this, because we couldn't have done it by ourselves. So, with that, give yourself a hand. Come on up here, Sean. He said he don't know what to say. Watch this.
Hello, everyone. I am Sean Wilson. How's everyone doing? First of all, these four men up here, we need to really give them a good send-off here, because this would be the last time that we're going to honor these colors in MOSELF. So I need to hear, not only I need to hear the clap, I need everyone to get up. Everybody. You need to cheer and clap so we can hear this down UPS. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. There you go. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Because it wasn't for, first of all, I'm gonna start off like this. If it wasn't for my buddy Sterl, it wouldn't be no Aaron. My man right here introduced me to Aaron Johnson. I didn't know Aaron. I heard of him from his brother Winky, but I didn't know Aaron. So we were sitting there playing PlayStation or one of them games, and he was like, hey man, you have a league coming up, we're gonna start a league. Were you interested? Yeah, I'm interested. So I played baseball, I played at Northeast. But not only did they help all the kids in the surrounding area, they also helped me. Like Stern was just talking. You know, you come up and you don't realize what you do or what you can do for the community or anything else until you get your feet wet. They allowed me to do that. They didn't know who I was, but him. I didn't know much of Jeff or Mike. I knew Mike from playing sports in the city. Didn't really know Jeff. But I really, myself, like to say thank you for allowing me to be part of MOSELF, and I think I had about 9 jobs at the field, or the fields. I only had one boss though, and that was Aaron Johnson. When Aaron said something needed to be done, he meant that. But he never told you how long he was gonna be out there. We'd get out there at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning. We wouldn't leave till 10, 11 o'clock at night. But you know what's so interesting? We all had jobs. And we all went to work, got off work, came back to the field again. As men, becoming men, should I say, this is what we did. But in order to have a good program, you have to have good people underneath you. Yeah, clap to that, because that's the facts. And you have to have consistency. Knowing them and knowing what they meant and what they brought, you couldn't fail. You couldn't fail. When you say you was going to be there, you better be there. And if you didn't, I don't know, we didn't even really have cell phones back then. So I don't know how, I think we just had times, you know. But I mean, I got a lot of stories, I got a lot of time, but I know this ain't just about what I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna say. It's about others that want to speak as well. But I'm just gonna say one thing. I was coaching Jazz Land the first year, and the vice president, whatever, Sterl Pettis, I believe, this is how this time thing worked. I believe he called Aaron at 7:30 in the morning. We had a game. We was playing the team that Sterl was representing, but it came out that he was really coaching. So he seen the lightning bolt. You know, at the bottom of the screen, you see the lightning bolts are gonna be storming and all that. So he calls me and say, y'all ain't playing today, we ain't playing today. I said, huh? It's 7:30 in the morning. He said, oh no, y'all ain't playing. I said, how you gonna say that? I'm gonna call Aaron, and I'm gonna tell Aaron it's supposed to storm. Because we both had good teams, so we was undefeated. And that was the game name. So Aaron calls the game off at about 9 o'clock in the morning. So mind you, by the time the game was supposed to be played, we happened to be still gathered up at the boys club, because that's actually where we started, because we were still renovating the Southeast. So we started at the boys club. So there was a lot of people must didn't get the memo, because again, there wasn't really no cell phones. So it was actually crowded out there about 5:30, and everybody was wondering what time the game gonna start. I looked at Aaron, I said, you gonna tell him? He said, well, I blew it. We ain't gonna have no game today because somebody told me it was the thunder and lightning on the screen at 7:30 this morning. So, as you know, if you know Aaron, that was the first and the last time that he ever canceled a game that early. He didn't cancel the game no more until that time. If it was pouring down raining, that's when the game was canceled. But you know, I appreciate everything and everyone and all that everyone out there has done for MOSELF. Because again, like Stern said, everyone that was standing up here, if it wasn't for y'all, it wouldn't be MOSELF. All the volunteers, you need to actually give yourself a hand as well, because again, dealing with Aaron Johnson and the crew, when he called you and said you had to run the Sam's, you had to do this, get the ice, you had to go to Wise and Giants, he meant that. He didn't fall short for anything. It was like you was getting paid to do what you was doing. I was like, man. And then you know, it'd be 12 of us working on the field, and he said in about 2 hours you're gonna get something to eat. He'll go to Sorrento's, order 1 turkey and cheese sub, and 3 liters of sodas. And we all eating off that sub and drinking off the sodas. I'm like, but I'm like, man, this ain't good. So now you're trying to figure out, when he say, you gotta work on the field, you're like, I don't know, we're gonna keep doing that. But anyway, like I said, this league did more for me and my family just as much as it did for everyone else. My kids came through here, my grandkids came through here. We all worked as a family, which we are our family. We don't realize it, but we are family. All of us in here is family and friends. And I love each and every one of you, because God is good. Without God, let's talk about it. Without God, it wouldn't be none of us. Can we say amen? Let's talk about that for a second. Without God, where would we be at? Right? I hear you. But again, the devil is trying to knock me down, and I'm not going to let that happen. Without God, where would we be at? Praise God. Amen. Thank you.
Because we family. Man, my man said, let's talk about it. I said, oh God. He didn't turn the corner on me. Oh Lord.
We get ready to go pray for her.
Let me give you my concession stand story with Mike Summers. Now, Mike always walks around the field making sure everything's okay. And everybody know Mike's around. But my Uncle Del Richard came over to the field.
Talk about my brother now. Talk about him.
And I was in the concession stand showing somebody how to work the machine, because once I showed them how to work the machine, then I can just do what I need to do and give them the money, blah, blah, blah. But Mike was outside giving me sign language. It's like, so I was telling the girl, I said, so you do this, do this? And I turned around, Mike's doing it. What is wrong with him? So I looked at him, so I'm still talking to the girl. Listen, so you hit this, hit that. And Mike comes closer to me like, you see me? So, but he didn't want Del Richard nowhere near the field. He was saying, stop what you're doing and go handle that. I caught it afterwards. And then my last but not least concession stand story is the kids that would come to the field, they would be hungry. And I would always fry a bunch of French fries, put them to the side, because I know they're coming. And then I would boil too many hot dogs because I knew they was coming. And so here they come, and I dump the French fries back in the grease, get them hot, give them a hot dog, and then I say, now don't tell anybody that I gave you this hot dog and French fry. Man, as soon as they got to the corner, the ladies in here giving out French fries and hot dogs. So I'm still trying to do it on the low. And Aaron sees me giving French fries and hot dogs out to about 7 kids. And, you know, he turns the corner and says, what are you doing? So I'm still looking at the kids. Here you go, sweetie. Here you go. He said, did you hear what I say? I know you ain't giving away the French fries. I said, look here, the kid is hungry. You better get away from me right now. He said, all right, man. Like, man, these kids is hungry and they eating this. Because Aaron wanted every red cent out that concession stand. But anyway, MOSELF's concession stand. We in the program with our sponsors. Unfortunately, 2 of them not here, but one of them's here. A lot of y'all know him personally because I ain't gonna do that. My sister's always trying to boss me, but anyway. So a lot of y'all know him already, but Jazzland, the owner, Don Bowers. Actually, Don Bowers was our first sponsor. He was the first person I went to, and
You know, if you know Don Bowers, you know what I mean? You know, Don will cuss you out, but he cusses me out all the time. I ain't got used to that, but I went to him and said, Don, I want you to sponsor this team, man. You know, he went through his bag and all that stuff. He had to go back in his office. So he never was out front. He always had to go back in his office. He back there playing some kind of game or something. So I said, Don, so I want you to sponsor this team. He said, oh man, come back and see me tomorrow. So I came back, he gave me a little sponsor check. But not only did he do that, we didn't have no fryers, we didn't have none of that stuff. So I said, Don, I said, man, Don, after he chewed me out again, Don made sure I had fryers for the chicken, the french fries. That's who provided everything when we first got started. And then years had passed and everything, anytime I needed something, if I asked him, he was always there for me. He's a little grouchy something, but he's always been, he's always been in our corner, man. You know, then I was kind of skeptical. I said, wow, Jazz, man, that's a bar, man. We got Little League Baseball. I said, look, man, we're going to have a team. I don't care what he's doing. But anyway, I said, he's going to be our sponsor.
Kindness is a rare and special gift these days. Thank you for your true acts of kindness. Consider this award a very small token of our appreciation for all the unwavering support you have shown, time and time again. You are a shining example of what it means to be a truly good person. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Mr. Bowers.
Free drinks at Jazzland too.
I did not want to deal with it, believe me.
He said, get that.
Only thing, I want to make this real short. That one point about the young lady, I think she's on, was on Jazzland's team, about the shirt. Aaron would come back to me every year and said, I need more shirts. Every year I had to replace shirt. But Aaron was very persistent. When he first came up and asked me for a donation, I've only been in business for 2 years at that time. I kept asking how much. Whatever he would say, I would cut it down a little bit. And I'd come back the next week, ask for something else. And I couldn't tell him no. It just didn't feel right to tell him no. So we got to one point, I had some equipment. I went down, I think it went down to, and looked around, he didn't have everything in the kitchen, or he didn't have enough. So I went up there, I said, wait a minute, I got this equipment, I can wait a little bit, I'm gonna give it to Aaron. And from then on, Aaron would be back about every 3-4 months, all year long. And it just kept going and going and going. But I felt good about it. And I'm glad I helped, I could help a little bit. Yeah. But like I was telling Aaron, and he was telling me about the function. I said, man, I don't want to be in front of people. So, I guess the only thing I can say now is that no, I'm trying to think of something nice to say about Aaron. I am finding it very, very, very hard. I'm done. Thank you very much.
Now
I get the privilege to speak about somebody that's dear to me, that taught me so much, and there's a lot of history behind it. I'm gonna tell a couple little stories and a couple funny things, but this guy is just truly amazing. So if the Hall family can come up here and stand behind me, can you please come up here? Because Roger meant so much to everybody up here. But I'm gonna tell you a story about this guy. And Stern touched on it a little bit, but Roger was maybe this big, right? But Roger had more energy, more determination than anybody. Me and Stern was out there wheelbarrowing loads and loads of dirt to the point where we fell out and laid up against the concession stand pouring water on each other. Roger looked over at us and said, "What's wrong?" I said, we tired, boss. Here he comes, picks up a wheelbarrow and takes it all the way from right field to left field, like 2 or 3 times. And me and Stern looked at him and said, "Dude, we 30. How old is he?" You know what I mean? But he's wheeling them out there. And the first time I ever met him, Aaron introduced me to him. Whatever, the field wasn't even done, wasn't nothing out there. And Aaron said, "Roger's gonna come and put this field together," right? So Roger came out. The only thing Roger had was some kite rope and an axe, right? Roger came down and laid sod and took an axe and cut straight down the line. Never had a ruler, tape measure, nothing. And just the line was straight as I know it. I laid on the ground and looked at it and I said, "Yeah, that's straight." You know what I mean? Measured with the little piece of rope out to the mound from home plate. There was no numbers on the rope, nothing. He just straight out there measured whatever. Put the angle on the mound where it slanted down, put clay underneath of there, tamped it down. I mean, this dude was like amazing for just a rope and an axe. That's all he had. You know what I mean? But when he did it. And I did have the pleasure, and I still speak on it to this day. Me, Aaron, and Roger went up to Williamsport one year, and they had a kid, I think he was from Saudi Arabia, named Kurt Baptiste, that was over there hitting home runs. He had like 15 home runs. But my pride is that Roger called me out, and me and Roger put the Little League mound baseball up at that time. And we got out there, clayed it up, tamped it, watered it down, whatever. And like I said, that's one of the greatest things I ever experienced, was to get out there and do that, knowing the significance of midget baseball, Williamsport, World Series, and everything else like that. So I'm honored to say it was a pleasure working with your dad. All right?
I'm not real good at this, but the only thing that I can say is that field meant everything to my dad. He grew up there and he spent, sorry. That's all right. That was his favorite place to be, in the middle of that field. I can remember him coming home at night, because my mom was always mad. Like, he was always there with these guys, and when I say that he worked until late at night, it was late at night. My mom would be like so mad, because where's he at? Where's your dad? But he used to tell me that he would be chased by pit bulls across that field. He'd have to run up the fence line, but he grew up there, his home was there, he played as a little kid out behind that field, and it meant everything to him to be able to do that field. And like I said, that was the one place that he always wanted to be. So to be here and to just share in this for him means everything to me.
You want to come up here, get a chance, come up and take a look at the memorial table. We got a professional person that actually built our field. I mean, that's what he did. He got these breakaway bases here. He became a millionaire with these breakaway bases. I mean, I wish. Yeah. I mean? He might got the money back somewhere. Yeah, but Roger was that guy. Me and Coach Pacheco had the opportunity to go down to University of North Carolina with Roger, and he built the softball field down there. I ain't gonna hold y'all up with that story, but I know Roger worked me and Pacheco into the ground. My youngest daughter actually lived in Apex, North Carolina. It's right down the street from University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. And me and Pacheco had all these plans we was gonna go do after we got finished working. Well, that never happened because after we got finished working, we took a shower. ESPN was watching us. We didn't do nothing but go to the field. Roger Kent got up one day, act like he was hurting or something. He said, "Oh man," he started stressing. He said, "Oh man, I can't move." Oh, Pacheco said, "You ain't gotta do nothing, Roger. Just sit there. Just take your time." We was trying to get out of work. just lay down, Roger. You ain't gotta do nothing, right? Man, that guy laid down there about half an hour and said, "Yeah, we good. Let's go." Man, he worked us like a slave. Pacheco was telling on me because all I was doing was driving the gator. Pacheco was working like a slave out there, man. But Roger working in the ground though, man. I thought I was bad, but that Roger wasn't no joke, man. But he was a great guy, man. We lost Roger a little bit over a month, I guess now. And the thing about it is that's why it's so important for us to celebrate like we celebrate now, because all our guys are gone, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm gonna keep it moving. So that's actually. We had Dick Engle, which he passed on. Dick Engle actually owns Central Business System. And Rick Brown, I see Rick Brown's out there. We couldn't take Rick Brown nowhere. We went out to Dick Engle's house, had a little barbecue. When we get out there, Rick Brown had broke this glass table that, that Dick Engle had. I said, "Oh Lord, that's it for you, Rick." But anyway, that's it for you. He was messing with my sponsor money, man. So that's it for you. And then Mr. Moore, Mr. Earl Moore, like you heard on the video, that was actually me and Gina and Mike's Little League coach. Mr. Moore was like a Renaissance man. He did everything. He was a father figure to me and Mike and so many kids out the South. And see, Mr. Moore grew up down on 9th Street down there with the Dennisons, Lloyd Dennison and all of them. And he was down at the real Shy Poke, not the Shy Poke they talk about now. That was real Shy Poke. 9th Street ain't even down there no more. He was just a great guy. I mean, like after we would practice, and my favorite catchers out there, Barry Holland. I seen Barry Holland out there. Barry played WHP too. We used to get a soda and a donut every day after practice all the time, And back then, Mike Summers is exactly who he is right now. What I mean? He was young. He's always well-mannered and all that. I was always mean and had a bad attitude. Mike kept me from going to jail many times. Mike always been like some old soul. You know what I mean? But yeah, Mr. Moore was something else. He was something else. I remember I came out because I played at Northeastern my last 2 years. We moved out the South. And Mr. Moore told me, go high, don't do good in the trials and all that. I didn't listen because I was hard-headed. So I went out there and showed off and everything, but he ended up still getting me anyway. But yeah, he was a great man, great man. He really was. Well missed, you know what I mean? Well missed. Okay, so who else we got here? Angie Smith. Yo. Yeah, I'm gonna get to that. Angie Smith, she's not here. Angie Smith was the big sponsor of ours, Smith Communications. She sponsored 2 teams, a pony team and a little league team. And anytime that I went to her and asked her for anything, she was always there also. Always there. Okay, so Gary Nalbanyan. Now this one is a millionaire. Okay, don't get it twisted. He owns CIR Realty, and he used to be the president of Commerce Bank and Metro Bank. This guy, man, everything. When I say everything. Anytime I call him, you know what I mean? He's always there. So I'm gonna get to these three guys here. I'm gonna Gina go ahead and call these three guys up so we can, you know, kind of like get you out here and get the show up.
Retiring of the colors. So, MOSELF's colors are blue and yellow. Is there a significance for choosing those two colors? That is right. I didn't make the All-Star, so I didn't know that. But I did get 3 trophies in 1 year, so. Before we get to retirement colors, I'm gonna tell you something about T-ball. T-ball is where everybody came to the game, all the grandparents, the great-grandparents, the cousins and nephews, because they wanted to see it was, what, the 3, 4, 5-year-old? What was the age for T? Yeah, to play the game. Well, my great-nephew, Keyshawn, he was the funniest kid ever. And so we signed him up for T-ball, baby, we good at T-ball. And Aaron's on the microphone, calling the names, and my sister, Kara, and myself was lined up the fence, because here comes Keyshawn. And they put the ball on the little thing, and we say, swing! And he swung that bat, hit the ball. My man took off, ran straight to the dugout and sat down. I said, what? Oh, honey, me, my sister Carol, we laughed for about 15 minutes. But he was done. He hit the ball, he did his job, and he sat back down. So he understood his assignment. Okay? But I have you to know, to this day, he's serving his freshman year at IUP. My great nephew, Keisha. Retiring of the colors. Coming up now is Mr., and in this order, Mr. Geoffrey Patterson, Mr. Michael Summers, Mr. Sterl Pettis, and last but not least, Mr. Aaron Johnson. Now, when Aaron comes up, everybody stand up so like you can kind of start going towards the door, or he's gonna talk forever. Mr. Patterson.
I'm not sure what's expected at this point. There's a couple things I would like to say. First, I would like to mention that my sister-in-law was the first female baseball coach who won the city championship in Little League Baseball in Harrisburg. Tracy Lane, didn't overlook that. I'm not going to be short, I promise. Like the guys mentioned, they grew up in Southeast League. I played baseball at the Harrisburg South League, which is on Berry Hill Street, Harrisburg Boys and Girls Club. Wasn't no girls club back then, it was just Harrisburg Boys Club. But I've known these guys, wow, just about all my life, it feels like. I know them to be the men that they are. Mike Summers has not changed one tiny bit. I need his children, his grandchildren, and his great-grandchildren to know that. That man y'all see today is the same little boy we met 60 years ago. He's been steady as a rock, always. Sterl was a gifted guy, very bright, slick, handsome, dressed well, little arrogant. But when it came to business, Sterl's always been business, always. Aaron, he's been an energy ball. I've never seen him walk away from a challenge. He's not the guy you want to work for. He's not. You will get paid on time, but you'll resent it, seriously. There are people who've been paid by Aaron. Most people, we go on his handshake and that's it. I respect these guys. I appreciate these guys. I love these guys. These guys are my friends. We were only together for a short period of time. I'm one of the founding blocks. I was here in Harrisburg. As life would have it, I ended up going back to Chicago to go back to work, doing what they really paid me to do. And so I never thought twice about leaving MOSELF to go do this other thing that I was called to do. Because I knew who MOSELF was. I was there when they were born, so to speak. And I knew that this was going to be a good thing. This is a funny thing that happens in this town, and I've seen it, and I've lived all over this country, and I've seen a lot of towns like our town. Somehow we get to a place where we think it ain't gonna make a difference. It ain't gonna make a difference. And so why try any harder than we've been trying? If you ever want to make a difference, try just a little bit harder than you've been doing. Yeah, the difference between where you would like things to be and where they are, it might be your lack of participation to close that gap. It just might be, I don't know. That's what we found to be true. That Southeast League field, it was in shambles. But we knew we could not sit here and watch it be in shambles, knowing we had not contributed anything to change its fate. And that's all we did. We got tired of seeing it the way it was and said, I know I can do something. If I can't do nothing but push a wheelbarrow, I can do something. If I can't do nothing but write up a good proposal to do a fashion show, I can do something. If I can't do nothing but boil hot dogs and maybe make some french fries and feed the babies, I can do something. We just gotta remember, we can do something. Whatever it is going to be, as long as we don't do anything.
I had a classic moment earlier before everything got started. I was standing up front here looking at the memorial, and Roger's daughter came up and we started talking. She was complimenting on the layout and everything, and she started getting emotional. And I said to her, what are you doing? I said, there's no crying in baseball. But I appreciate all the words that were said about Roger. And after 29 years, I can say to my wife, see, honey, I was at the ball field. I was really at the ball field. I'd come home, get the side eye. How you working in the dark? There's no lights there. You were at the field working. I'm off the hook. I'm out of the doghouse. Yeah, 29 years later. But she stayed with me, and I am happy to say that this Thursday she will have been hanging out with me for the last 43 years. Thick and thin of everything. My daughter's here, one of my daughters, and my two grandchildren are here that actually played MOSELF, T-ball, and midget baseball, so that's also a blessing. What do I want to say about Mr. Johnson, Mr. Pettis, and Mr. Patterson? It's all been true, what all's been said. I can say that, it's all been true. To the point that Aaron texted me this morning and said, Mike, I need you to do this. This morning. I said, Aaron, I'm going to a conference. I got to be there at 9. I can't help you out. Okay, I'll get somebody else. He texted me about an hour later, Mike, I need you to pick up the chicken at 3 o'clock and bring it down to the Able Hall. I said, okay, Aaron, I can take care of that. The stories we can tell, the stories that we can share over 29 years are amazing. I'm not going to go through it, but what I will say is one of the highlights that I can remember, one of many, was after we got going good at Southeast League Field. We were in the All-Star Tournament, which is after the season. So with the All-Star Tournaments, you play teams from all over Dauphin County. As in Dauphin, as in Halifax, as in Linglestown, you see where I'm going? As in Paxtonia, as in Lower Paxton, as in Susquehanna Township. They came to us. They came to Hall Manor. A little nervous, but they came. But we put them at ease. When they saw the field, when they saw what we were about, it put their minds at ease to the point where they wanted to come back to play on our field. It was amazing. And the highlight, I believe, was Sean Wilson, who was up here earlier. He was our announcer for the All-Star games. You would have thought Sean was Vince Scully or somebody announcing these baseball games. I mean, you would have thought he was actually getting paid. Sean did an amazing job to the point where after the game, I was working the scoreboard, he was keeping the book and calling the names and calling the play-by-play. And I'd come out after the game, I would come out to, you know, leave and everything, and Sean was finishing up, and they thought I was the one calling the game. People were coming up, you did an amazing job. Oh my goodness, I mean, they were just, I said, it wasn't me, it was Sean. But they evidently didn't have that on the fields that they came from. So when Sean came down, I directed them to him and let them know who was doing it. And it was amazing to see how the people from all the different communities accepted what we had to offer. I know for a fact that their concession stands, wherever they came from, didn't have fried chicken. That was a big hit. That was a large hit. But we showed them that when you hear the name Hall Manor, it wasn't about shooting. And back in the day, Gina coined the phrase Hall Manor, Pennsylvania. But it was about playing baseball, it was about having fun, and it was about respect. We respected each other. We did what we had to do 5, 6, sometimes 7 days a week. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of hard work. I'm not going to sugarcoat that at all. It was. But we did it for the kids. And I personally can't thank all the coaches, all the volunteers, concession stands, everything, all those years for the help that you gave us. Yeah, the 4 of us are sitting up here, but it's definitely not all about us because we had so much help along the way. I mentioned in the video that we've had more successes than failures. Miss Green is one of them, being a member of City Council. There are other success stories out there. And that's one of the things that I'm proud of. So I'm going to leave you with that. And like I started earlier, you know, my wife being with me, Cindy, there's a lot of times when I was going a lot to the point where if I wasn't at the field, I was at work. And if I got home, the phone rang, I'd have to get called out, I'd go back to work. So I was going a lot.
PPL or air.
And that's the way it was, but I publicly want to thank her for staying with me and understanding what was going on because that's what it was all about. So God bless you, thank you for everything.
I'll make this quick. But I want to thank everybody out there that came out tonight to share a part in this legacy, this lesson of life that we try to convey to some of the younger kids that were growing up. But of all the years of doing this stuff, I never really got to say thank you to these guys here. So today I want to say thanks to everybody and personally like address them, and I'm going to give you a little funny one. Because growing up, Aaron, Mike, we were all good friends. We all did our thing or whatever. Mike, 6th grade, the same size as he is now. Mike was bigger than everybody else. The most athletic person out the whole group. Throwing him a football, he never drops one, right? This dude here, when it was time to play baseball, you never even saw the ball, you just heard it. Barry was a catcher. Barry would put sponges in his glove because he said he was throwing too damn hard. You know what I mean? He said, Aaron's throwing so hard, it's stinging. You can hear it hit the pad every day. The people in the dugouts saying, you ready to bat? No, I'm not ready to bat. You know what I mean? Getting up there scared because you can't even see the ball, all you can do is hear it. You know what I mean? And Jeff is probably one of the most intelligent people I've ever met. When it was time to write a grant or something like that, Aaron would say, give it to Jeff, whatever. The only thing is, I saw Aaron tell Jeff to do something one day to write it down on a pad. Jeff's the only person who can read that. Because I don't know what he wrote. There's like a couple big circles, and I'm like, okay, he got it. But the grants kept coming in. You know what I mean? They just kept coming through. But with that, when they asked me about the, what have I learned from, or the biggest thing from the MOSELF or whatever, one of the accomplishments was, this is a parlay off of Sean, I got to get even on this one here. I mean, since he said I called the game in the morning. But anyway, I was coaching Kessler's, right? And I was associated with Kessler's from Sean's or whatever. But anyway, they was the Bad News Bears, right? They was terrible, right? I mean, they would be out, wait a minute, I'm getting ready to tell you, Miss Dickey, about Aaron too, right? All right, because he was a part of it. Because if I could use one curse word, I would use it, but I'm not going to use it today, right? But these kids were out in the outfield or whatever, right? Hats on their head, gloves on their head, talking about, Sterl, it's too hot. When we going back? You know what I mean? Y'all can't even get it out. You know what I mean? You throw them the ball, they don't even know where the ball's at. First step in, ball over there, then they go, you gonna go get it? No, you go get it. But the lesson was, we stuck with it, whatever, and I knew that they was calling me Sterl, but then the life lessons of growing up, when we had a structured home, it was always, they would call you Mr. or Uncle or whatever. They always addressed you a different way. So as the season game went on, they started getting better. And then my name wasn't Sterl no more. It was Coach Sterl. It was Mr. Sterl. We winning baseball games now, whatever. But anyway, we ended up winning the championship the first year. So in 1993, the inaugural year of MOSELF, Kessler's won it. And it wasn't because I called the game in the morning. It's because those kids was dedicated and said, let's deal with this. They got life lessons from it. And to this day, when I see them, it's always Coach or Mr. Sterl. And all we ever wanted to do from the very beginning was to make a difference. And when one of those kids called me by that name, I know we did what we were supposed to do. And that's all that mattered.
All right, y'all got a Milky Way. I'm getting ready, you know what I mean? I'm getting ready to go ahead and take a 7-inning stretch.
Get your blankets out. Get your pillows and blankets out.
This is the last time you're going to see me, so bear with me. All right. Oh, man. Oh, I tell you what. It's so many great things. Said 93. Actually, we started in 91. That's when we started making preparations. 93 is when we actually had a grand opening. But I'm just going to start off with the coaches. I had some amazing coaches. I know I got on their nerves and all that, but you know, like Mike and them said, this ain't all about us, really. Like, I'm just talking about Coach Green. Coach Green used to make sure a couple of players that was less fortunate than other players, make sure they always had a haircut and everything prior to them going to school. Make sure their grades was good, all that. These are the kind of coaches that I had. I mean, he done that every year. You know, make sure they came over his house, cut the grass and stuff, make sure they had money in their pocket. You know, that's what he was about. That's what he was about. And a couple of them that used to go to his house, Roger's favorite one was, let me see, Ira Gibson, if I can recall, and my man Darnell Sawyer. Oh man, Roger was crazy about them two. You know, because Lloyd Dennis would kick him out. You know, Lloyd would kick him out the field and say, you know, that Darnell come in there and do some crazy stuff, right? Lloyd said, look, Darnell, you got one more time and get your dusty butt going out the gate. You know, then Darnell come back the next day, be right at that gate. Then I come back in, you know, and he start all over again. You know what I mean? But man, we had some characters. We had some characters. I see Helen Green out there. She started the concession stand. Helen, I know the divorce rate should have been higher than what it was. Because they're right. We used to stay at the field. Helen be in there cooking that chicken, man, all night long. Her ritual was after we shut down, she'd go right over to Clovey Heights bar. That was her thing. I guess she had to go to Clovey Heights bar dealing with me, you know, the whole time in the concession stand. But that was her thing. Her husband Lou would come up there and say, hey, what's up? What you gonna do? And she said, we better eat some of this chicken and fries, cause, you know, cause that's where she was at, you know, faithful. Groundskeeper, Coach Pacheco. Once Roger had that field, you know, Pacheco was a bad boy as far as that grounds crew. And he cussed me out. He go through his bag. I'm done. I told him I was done. He would holler at stuff to shine on. I said, I ain't paying Checo no mind, man. He be back over there. I ain't paying no mind. Yeah. He man reliable. You know, we just had some great guys. You know, Tony Stern, let me tell you what he used to do. He sit up here talking that crazy stuff. The reason why Jazzland couldn't win at that particular time, because when tryouts used to be over at that, we used to do it over at Food School. Tony picked his team based on how the moms look. That's what he used to do. Now, that's what he used to do. So everybody on this team, I mean, this one young boy, he couldn't catch nothing. And all he would say to her was, to the mom, don't worry about that, I'll fix all that. That's why you couldn't do nothing, Taj Ray. You ain't had no help. Yeah, he loved tryouts, boy. He loved tryouts. I'm telling you. Oh man, but boy, I'm telling you, we had with Sean. I remember I got these because I always wanted to make sure the kids look good. I mean, that was one of our pet peeves. We had to make sure they look good because our blueprint was like how they looked across the river. Right? It was like, man, we gonna have the same thing, and that's what drove us. You know, so we wanted to make sure our kids look good. So we had the All-Star team. We got these white uniforms with their names on the back. Man, listen here. We played up there, up on 6th Street. I forgot that field, way up on 6th Street. Yeah, we played, no, it wasn't Westfield, this was, North. What? Stabler Park? Yeah, oh man. Shakira, you remember them uniforms they had, all white uniform, All-Stars, had your name on the back of them? Well, we got up there, I mean, we was clean, we was sharp. We clean as I don't know what. Man, they tore us apart up there. And Sean was saying, man, you need to get, hey, look, don't get them no more white uniform. You need to get them something that's already dirty, because they scared to get dirty. Man, yeah, that was something. But we was always clean, so I remember we went over there and played in Redland, right? In the All-Stars, so they was kind of like, I ain't gonna say cheating, but they was making some bad calls. So they called me and Sean over there. So we go over there. We go over there talking and everything. So the man said, well, do you want me to call the state troopers, right? Now, big bad Sean sitting over there, and he with me all of a sudden. Now, first thing he come out, Mr. Cat, then you drive the cat bus. He said, man, you got this by yourself. I can't be losing my CDL license. He's something else. But them great teams that we had, oh man, it'd be like when the playoffs came, we had Harrisburg Senators going against Sharp Tops, or Harrisburg Senators was going against Winfield. Man, it'd be standing room only, man. I mean, like it'd be jam-packed Friday night, you know what I mean? So the one playoff game, I don't know if some of y'all might know Tootie Peppers. Y'all know Tootie Peppers? Yeah. Okay, all right. So Tootie Peppers was on a rampage this particular night. He was shaking a lot of people down at the gambling hall. He was robbing blind, right? So we had the playoffs. We had good money in that concession stand. So I told Sean, I said, man, Tootie's on a rampage, man. So I said, yeah, we closed early tonight. I took that money, wrapped it up in aluminum foil. I said, Tootie's my young boy, but man, Tootie's on a rampage. I ain't fucking with Tootie. Yeah, you know, because oh man, you had to make sure that you knew your surroundings. We got robbed one time. It was some of the kids, but guess what? The other kids, I came in there, I said, yeah, we ain't gonna have no game. Somebody better go find that money. Don't you think they went to the swimming pool, Hallman swimming pool, and went and got who stole that money? I got all of it back. It was about $200. I got all of it back with $40. Yes, they did. Brought it right on back. Yeah, they did. I mean, it was nothing but respect, because they knew that the coaches cared about them. They knew we cared about them. You know what I mean? That was essential with it. You know, it was man, we just had a great time, and it's like, man, I see Spoon still there. You know, Mr. Denson, umpire. You know, look, man. You know, Chris Quilly is, you know, he's gone, passed on, but man, this dude umpire for us, man, like, anytime we needed him, you know what I mean? Then after that, old Spoon took his role, and same thing, man, Spoon umped about 5-6 games in a day, man. Had that old ball bag twisted, you know what I mean? He get out there and do his thing, you know what I mean? He'd be dead tired, but that was dedication. You know, we did it because of the kids. You know, like now Mike was talking about the success rate. You know, you got, you know, David Green, big boss over there, you know, over there in New Cumberland, you know, making all that money. Sharon's probably still trying to get in his pocket. But Kara over there, she is supervisor. You know, I mean, got some great stories, you know. People doing great things. I see Louis out here, you know, he's a big time little photographer now. You know, Kevin Black's kids that played for, I think they played for Kwame and them team. He is a dentist. You know, man, we got some real good success stories. Aaron, you know, Deb's son, went in the Marine.
Number 5.
Yeah, I mean, doing some, you know, like we always hear the bad things that our kids do, but we do better. We got more success stories than we have.
That's right.
You know. Now I want to recognize our new basketball coach for Harrisburg High Cougars, Damone Maxwell. Stand up. And the thing about that is, it's time. That's why we stepping down, man. We older now. It's time for the young folks to take this thing and take it to a new level, man. It's time. You know, we gotta get behind Damone, you know what I'm saying? He might not have that championship team the first 2 years, but I guarantee you that third and fourth, he's gonna be rolling. He gotta build it back from the ground up, that's all. You know, our kids don't participate like we did, you know what I mean? You didn't have to tell us that we needed to try out. We was there, you know? So now you're in a different mindset. So that you need that fresh blood. And he's gonna do well. He's gonna be successful. Just give him time. Just give him time. You know, same thing like they thought that we wasn't gonna make it. We wasn't gonna make it. But we stuck with it, you know, passion, put a heart into this, you know what I mean? And you know, like I said, look at us now. And I just wanna say that you know, there's a lot of people that is not with us today, our coaches and some of the players, you know what I mean? So I'm just gonna, you know, I can't name them all, but you know, that's what I'm saying. Life is short, man. We gotta love one another while we're here, man. We really do. And I almost lost, you know, Sean. You know, I mean, I almost lost him. You know what I mean? Because Bonnie was sick at the same time he was sick. You know, he's still here. You know, my partner sitting here. You know, Sterl. You know what I mean? Just like I say, you know. Just love one another, man. Start, you know, hating on each other and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's crazy. I just want to recognize, you know, my family. You know, both of my daughters here. My youngest daughter is not here. My middle daughter's not here. She lives in Waldorf, Maryland. She had another function. But my oldest daughter here. You know, a lot of people don't realize. Yeah, I ain't gonna, you know, y'all might say, oh man, how old was you when you had her? I was 10, no. 12. No, my oldest daughter's here. She's an architect. I mean, she's doing very well out there. Stand up. She's 48 years old. Go ahead and do the math. You know, look, I know somebody gonna put me on video on Facebook and all that. Yeah, go ahead and do the math. Yeah, turning on 15. I was in alternative school when I had it. That's true. Not when I had it, but yeah. She was born down in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Yeah. And I came from a baseball game. This is the honest God truth. I came from a baseball game, and the lady said, man, she got a nice tan, right? Then she seen me, she said, oh, Yes, indeed. She's going down in Hershey. But my daughter Sierra, she came up here from Atlanta through here. Now I did ask her to try out for softball for the Cougars. That didn't work out too well, did it? But she tried out though. She wanted to get in the yearbook. I ain't mad at you, Sierra. I ain't mad at you. You know, my son, Kwame, go ahead. Now Kwame played for, who he played for? Kessler. He played for Kessler. Yeah, he played for Coach Ray Iceman. Ray couldn't make it tonight, but he played for Ray Iceman. Kwame was a pretty good baseball player. I can honestly say that. He did do that, but he's not a basketball player, that's for sure. No, not then he wasn't no basketball player. He was shooting at the wrong court. He was shooting on the visitors team. He was shooting at the wrong basket. Yeah, but he was a good basketball, he was a good baseball player. My son Brian Arrington's back there. Harrisburg Senator. Brian moved to Texas on me, doing great things down there. Actually coaching basketball, got a couple state championships down there. Arlington. My granddaughter Kalani, in junior year at Penn State. And I want to thank, here's the people I definitely want to thank for putting on this. They work very hard. And look, if I do pay you, don't tell nobody. I don't want you to tell nobody. But no. Huh? For what? Look, all she worrying about is yeah. No, I got DJ. But no, I want to thank Val Gates. Where they at? They back there somewhere. Hey, Bob, tell them to come on in here, man. Yeah, it was Val Gates, stepsister Tracy Link. You got Debbie Reeves. And who actually made these t-shirts? Sterl got his own business, make them t-shirts, I mean, which he does a great job. But Val, Tracy, he had a team of just actually getting them 200 t-shirts printed and everything, so to make sure that everybody got a free t-shirt. But they did a remarkable job. They really did. Now, I see Miss Gloria Bonner's getting ready to say something smart. I'm gonna have her hauled out of here. Yeah. And we got shirts for sale if you want to buy something for your nephews or whatever. All right, so I got my kids out of the way. I just want to say, Mike was talking about Cindy. You know, y'all don't realize that I was the one that actually put them two together. That's my claim to fame. We went to our Legion baseball game, because both of them two was quiet, and they went in my station wagon. I had a 1962 Rambler station wagon. Yeah, so that's my claim to fame with that. But I just want to say, you know, to my wife just dealing with me, because I'm a handful to deal with. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm a handful to deal with. But just like Mike was saying, get side-eyed and all that. But see, my thing was, my passion for this, you know, definitely, I was going to that baseball field, cut the grass and all that, whatever I had to do. So only thing I would say you know, you make sacrifices for other people's kids when you're involved in these kind of things. And we made a lot of sacrifices, you know, because I was up there from, you know, sun up, sun down, you know. When they said they couldn't make it, I still had to be out there or whatever. But I just want to say to my family, sitting right here at the table, I just appreciate y'all, you know, supporting me, you know, holding it down for me and everything. But Trina, I just want to tell you, you know what I mean? You're a good one, but you know, I'm a handful, Jack. I'm a handful, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's just like what we're going to do in this thing here, you know. So she was doing about 12 things, and all I can say is, just make sure everything's straight when I get there, that's all. So you might get a check. There's a couple people that ain't gonna get paid. There's my stepmom over there, Mr. Audrey Link, and my mom. I'm gonna pay y'all a check, because y'all worked in the concession stand, didn't you? Yeah. I owe y'all some back pay, right? Hey man, it's been real, I appreciate you. You have a good time.